Hi everybody, Chris AMS, welcome to another video. Currently we've got a Ford Focus 2016 model year in. Customer's complaint is that the hill hold warning is on. ABS, this vehicle has the ability to park itself, so that parking function isn't working. The customer has had this car in at another garage, and the other garage, without really getting into it, has recommended that it's probably a faulty dashboard. So this customer has been in and he's had the dashboard out of it, it's been sent away for repair. He's had a £300 bill for a dashboard repair, and the fault is still present. So we're going to take a look at it and we're going to see if we can fix it for this customer. Right, so we're sat in the vehicle, everything's switched off. We want to confirm the fault, so we're going to start the vehicle up. I'm going to look at the dashboard, foot on the clutch, let's see what's going on with the dash. There's the dash coming up, and you've got the bonnet open on the seat. Okay, so we've got some fault codes up. It quickly flashed up with the hill hold not working, and then we've got active city stop not available. So we can confirm that the dashboard, there you go, there's our hill start fault there. So we can confirm that there is a fault present with the vehicle whilst we've got it. The worst thing for us are intermittent problems where they only happen every third Thursday of the month, assuming that the wind's blowing in the right direction and there's a slight drizzle in the air. So the fact that we can confirm that the vehicle is seeing a fault presently means that it makes it a lot easier for us to get into and diagnose the problem. So let's move on to our next step of testing. Right, so we're plugged into our vehicle with our scan tool. We're using a Snap-on Zeus this morning. We're going to go into the scanner. We're going to do a code scan of the vehicle, pre-scan, ignition's on, and we're going to do a scan and see what we got. So that's rolling through a scan. So we've got six devices or modules so far. It's usually pretty quick on a Ford. Great stuff. So that's completed a code scan. So the top two lines there are engine management fault codes. So we have P0504, brake light switch A-B correlation. We've also got in our anti-lock braking system, brake pedal switch A. Let's scroll down and make sure there's nothing else. We've got a few other fault codes, invalid data received from ECM. But it appears to be, lost communication with ECM. I think this has maybe had a flat battery at some point and caused a load of comms faults. Yeah, okay. So the fault codes that we're looking at are to do with our our brake light switch issue. So yeah, that's gives us an indication of where we need to look. So what we're going to do next is we're going to have a look and see if we've got brake lights. It'll be a nice easy test, and then we'll see what we've got from there. Right, so we're at the back of the vehicle. Phil is going to put his foot on the brake for me. So his foot is on the brake, on and off, on and off. And we have no brake lights. None of the three brake lights are working on this vehicle. So that's given us an indication that we've either got a switch problem or a wiring problem for the brake light switch. So let's go and have a look at a wiring diagram for this and see what we can see. Right, before we have a look at the wiring diagram, we've gone into, I always like to try and be methodical in our testing approach to make sure that we're not skipping steps. If you have a methodical test approach, then the likelihood is you're going to get to the bottom of the problem quicker. So at the moment we are on live data, so I like to confirm that we've got a fault I like to have a look and see if the fault codes lead us in any particular direction, and then I like to prove what the engine computer or the computers on the vehicle are seeing by looking at live data. So the live data that you're seeing is what the computer sees. So at the moment on the screen here, we're in the ABS system. On the left there, I've got the brake pedal switch position. Currently it's in the off position. And I've got brake fluid line hydraulic pressure, which is 0 kPa currently. So Phil's going to put his foot on the brake. And you can see there that the brake fluid hydraulic pressure is going up, which means that, yeah, we're actually, the live data is good kind of thing, and we're seeing the brake pedal being applied. But if you look on the left here, the brake pedal is not being seen as switched on. So it's strange. So what we're going to do is now we're going to move on to our wiring diagram and see how one of these switches is wired up. Right, so this is our wiring diagram for our brake light switch. Here is the brake light switch. I'll see if I can superimpose this picture onto the screen so it makes it easier for you to see. So our brake light switch consists of 4 wires because it activates sends a signal to 2 different ECUs on the vehicle. E1 is our engine computer, so pins 2 and 3 do our engine computer, 2 and 4 I think, yeah. And then the other 2 go down to our body control module. So one will run the brake lights and the other one will send data to the engine ECU to aid in the way the engine runs. So at the top here, I think the first thing we're going to have a look at is to see if we've got power running into our brake light switch. It's the easiest test to do. That's fuse 21 in the under bonnet control module. The brake light switch is a little bit awkward to get to, so we're going to have a look at that first and then see if we've got power. Okay. Right, so we found on our fuse diagrams, fuse 21 is in the under bonnet control module. Brake pedal switch is a 5 amp fuse, and it is this one here, F21, next to this little clump of relays next to a blue fuse there. So F21, that's the fuse we're going to have a look at. So follow me. Our under bonnet control module is here under this cover, located next to the air filter. We'll lift that off. Now looking in here, this is the strange thing, is there where that hole is, that's fuse 21. Now we are missing a fuse from there, so that seems a bit random. This is obviously had some issues, someone's been playing around with it, and for whatever reason they've pulled the fuse out. So let's put the fuse in there and we'll see if everything starts to work again. Right, so we've plumbed our fuse in. Plumbed our fuse into number 5, which is, again, like I say, that one there. So let's go and have a look at the back of the vehicle and see what we've got brake light wise. So Phil's going to put his foot on the brake. Oh look, we've got brake lights. Okay, and then if we go and look at our live data system and see what we got. So Phil's going to put his foot on the brake. And you see there now on live data we're getting brake light signals. So what we're going to do, because this seems a very random thing to occur, is we're going to clear the fault codes down and we're going to give the vehicle a test drive to make sure that no other faults return. But this has obviously been played around with in order to rectify some kind of fault, and somebody's pulled a fuse out to try and fix something and created another problem. So let's just give this a drive and see what we got, and we'll come up with a conclusion. Right, so we're back from our test drive. We've been done about 5 miles in the vehicle. There are no warnings that have come up on the dashboard to signify that there's a fault anywhere. All the cruise control system and everything that the customer was complaining wasn't working works. We've got brake lights, as you saw earlier. So let's go back in and just do a code scan of the vehicle to prove the fix. It's got the ump. Hair everywhere. Plug that in, do that. Just searching for the car again. Let's go in. We're going to do a code scan. So obviously all we're doing is validating that our fix is stuck and it's all good. So it's doing a code scan. So we've got no codes in the engine, no codes in the ABS system, which we had before for the brake light switch. It's just finishing its scan off. So your control module communication bus fault there. Although that's nothing to do with the fault that the customer has complained of, so we're not going to worry about that too much unless he comes to us with a complaint and he wants that looked at additionally. Great stuff. So yes, an interesting fault, strange fault. Not to say I've not seen that before with fuses missing, and you know, people or the other garage or customers have pulled a fuse out to put that fuse in to rectify a fault on a different component kind of thing, thinking it's a spare. So it's random, but yes, I've seen it before. But it just goes to show we're just following every job that we do, we follow a precise method in order to try and track down a fault first. Again, if this customer had come to us first, they would have saved themselves the cost of having the dashboard rebuilt, and we would have found it within our diagnostic assessment time, and gotten back on the road without that extra added cost. So hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, check out our other social media, and we'll see you at the next one. Take care.